It's been almost a year and a half since missing Fort Hood soldier Vanessa Guillen was found murdered outside of her Army base in Killeen, Texas. If the sexual assault report filed against her sergeant had been taken seriously, Vanessa would have been 22 years old this week. Now a House bill is being voted on in her name. For the first time in history, the I Am Vanessa Guillen bill would change the way the military treats cases of sexual harassment and assault. I sat down with the Guillen family attorney, Natalie Kawham, to find out what exactly this new bill would mean.
Our soldiers they go through enough. They have to worry about saving our country, making sure they don't die. They're ready to take a bullet. That's what they signed up for, but they didn't sign up to get sexually harassed and assaulted.
Khawam has been working nonstop with the Guillen family on Vanessa's case since she was reported missing. This week, she's taken to the House to push the I Am Vanessa Guillen Act, a bill Khawam says would save thousands of lives.
We can't bring Vanessa back, but what we can do is protect all those soldiers out there that need our help, because we're basically turning our back on them if we don't get this law changed.
The first of its kind bill would move prosecution decisions for sexual harassment and assault outside the chain of command, where they've been since the U.S. military was founded.
It's a failed system. It's proven failed. And just because we always did it this way doesn't mean it's right.
Khawam told me it's this flawed system that got Vanessa killed and has kept thousands of others from coming forward. Vanessa's case made national headlines and was felt around the country.
Tonight, the U.S. Army is releasing a scathing report saying leaders at Fort Hood in Texas ignored complaints of sexual harassment from Vanessa Guillen.
These videos of protests for Vanessa were sent to me by her sister.
And so as a member of the United States Congress, my promise is to you that we will work with all the Congress people to be able to get answers.
The hashtag I Am Vanessa encouraged thousands to finally speak about their own experience with military sexual misconduct.
What she did was she reported it to her other soldiers, her friends and her colleagues, and they reported it. She was afraid to report it formally, but she reported it to her colleagues, her friends, other soldiers, her family. She didn't trust the command. She didn't trust them because the guy that sexually assaulted her and harassed her was actually her command. That was someone that was above her. So how do you go and trust somebody that's above you to take care of a situation that they are engaging in?
In most industries, legislation is in place to protect people against sexual assault. But for those who risk their lives to protect us, there isn't any. The military is the only industry that doesn't offer any compensation or relief to victims.
A lot of people don't report it. And because when someone does report it, they see how they get harassed, retaliated against, hazed, kicked out. So, that happened with Elder Fernandez. He reported it, what you're supposed to do. And what happened? He ended up being retaliated against, hazed, embarrassed, humiliated. He ended up committing suicide.
Natalie says that while the camaraderie of our military is great when it comes to war, it isn't for sexual assault. Under the chain of command, service members have to report to their direct supervisor. In cases like Vanessa's, her supervisor was her assailant.
You get sexually harassed at your workplace. You can go to the EEOC and report it. You don't have to go to your chain of command, meaning your boss who sexually harassed you. You don't have to report to him or someone having to go to Harvey Weinstein saying, "Hey, you sexually harassed me. Can I file a report?" That's not fair. That's not a right to a fair hearing, a trial, or let alone are you going to get any kind of justice from that situation.
According to the Department of Defense, over 6,000 sexual misconduct cases have been reported in the past year alone.
People don't like to pay for something they've done wrong, but if they get in trouble and they don't pay anything because they don't have to pay, guess what? You see it happening again and again.
The I Am Vanessa Guillen Act would make sexual harassment a punishable crime under the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
So what this will do is provide accountability to the DOD, to our militaries, be accountable for any wrongdoing and negligence that occurred to our soldiers.
Those opposing the bill argue it's against the Ferris Doctrine, which protects the government from getting sued by service members injured on active duty. But sexual misconduct usually doesn't happen during active duty. It happens behind closed doors.
When somebody gets molested, harassed, assaulted, anything that should not be part of their duty, their job, their obligations. They should have a right to be made whole.
Khawam says it's not the first time she's had to change the law to change history, and she'll do it again. Like her victory with the Richard Stayskull bill, Vanessa's bill would act as an exception to the Ferris Doctrine.
That's the most important thing. It's like keep fighting, because we can't stop until we change law.
I spoke with Vanessa's older sister, Mayra, who told me Vanessa had so much faith in our military, she had plans of re-enlisting and making it her long-term career.
Do you personally believe that the military failed your sister and failed your family?
Of course. They definitely failed. Not only my sister, but my family and America itself, because at the end of the day, our military represents us.
Mayra was the first person to look for Vanessa, and she's been helping with every step of the process to pass her sister's bill.
We initially started doing our own searches without the military participating in them. It took them about a month to start actually searching in the base, so it was pretty bad.
Vanessa's family argues if the chain of command hadn't been complicit in her reports, she might still be here today.
There's nothing we can really do now except prevent this from happening to anyone else. So the passing of this bill, it would, give us some type of closure, and it would honor Vanessa in every way possible.
Khawam emphasized to me the importance of community in making legislative change. She's asking the community to call Senator Rick Scott to urge him to publicly support Vanessa's bill in hopes other senators will do the same.
These soldiers, they fight for our rights. We need to fight for their rights. They have no rights.
Vanessa's sister Mayra is asking for the public's support. She told me that while there is no bringing Vanessa back, this bill will help pave the way for other soldiers to remain safe and for no families to have to go through what hers did. In Tampa, I'm Deanna Lampisona.